Hamish and Andy's podcast.
Speaking of excellent pieces of art, as the pursuit of happiness is, Andy. Smell that? Excellence. Time for Fred.
No. See, I can't smell that.
Can't
It
you?
smells like a stinky, wet towel at the bottom of your laundry basket that is yet to be washed since you moved into your place 16 months ago.
Really sure it doesn't smell like the world's best cartoon?
No, because that is not what you're about to read. It's a rubbish cartoon.
Andy, we've had 2 weeks on this show without the regular segment, the genius that is Fred Basset.
I know, and we've been applauded for it.
No, we haven't.
Yes, we
People miss him. People are going nuts out there without him.
I've never seen anyone go nuts
You know
about him.
that riot in France?
Yeah.
Nothing to do with the elections. It's about Fred Basset.
I don't really know what you're talking about.
It was a massive riot in France.
Really?
I would have thought it would have hit closer to home, but I'm still chalking it up to the fact there's been no Basset for the past 2 weeks.
Well then, Haim, if there has been a riot in France and you say it's because there's been no Fred Basset, maybe today I'll help out our French listeners and...
No, don't do that. That'll just distract you.
Well, I thought maybe that's a good idea then.
What do you mean?
Well, let me just get a bit of a translator up
Don't
here.
do that, Andy. Just hang on a sec. Well, for people that don't know what this segment is, you're in luck here because it's quite excellent. And if there was a Hall of Fame for radio segments, this would actually, they would name the hall after Fred Basset.
No.
It would be the Fred Basset Hall of Fame for other radio segments.
It's terrible. Apparently people in France like it, and stereotypically French people do have a poor sense of humour, so that does make sense.
Fred Basset is a hilarious Basset hound. He can be found in the comic strip pages of a lot of newspapers. Sadly, not all of them. Not everyone gets it. It's a little bit highbrow. It goes over people's heads. It requires
Get on with it.
high intellect. Without any further ado, it's been 2 weeks, but yes.
You gotta fight for your right.
Listen to Fred Basset on the radio.
Excellent. Good to be back, Andy.
Boo.
Good to have everyone with us here as we tuck our napkins in and prepare to sink our ears into a delicious 2-panel Fred Basset on today's program.
Yes.
There's a small studio audience that have gathered. They're pretty excited to hear what's Crazy Fred been up to this
I don't really
week.
remember that, no.
Okay, since it's only 2 panels, everyone, please savour Basset for this week. I wish it was 3, but there's only 2 panels to this cartoon. And
The panel.
don't do the French, mate.
Well, you suggested
Distracting.
it. You suggested
No, I
it.
didn't. I just said French people going crazy because they hadn't heard
Thought I'd
French.
help 'em out. Thought I'm helping your segment. The panel.
Here we go. In the first panel,
Panel.
that's not even French.
It's a good attempt.
Just keep a lid on it, mate, because you're ruining Fred Basset.
Yeah.
In the first panel, Fred is watching his mail master on the computer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Got anything for that, Frenchie?
No. It's nothing interesting yet.
IBM? His mail master's on the computer. Fred's there. He's looking up at him going, that reminds me, I must send Jock a B-mail.
Le chien de Fred indique c'est mon rappel que je dois envoyer écosser
Terrible. This is pathetic. That's not broadcasting.
Well,
Sounds like a
it's
bad
actually
Yoplait
better.
ad.
It's actually better than what you've got.
Sorry about that, everyone. Anyway, he goes, that reminds me, I must send Jock
courrier.
a B-mail. Right?
Un courrier.
Just be quiet. Stop the French. Everyone at this point, before you see the final cell, the punchline cell, everyone's going, a B-mail? What are you talking about, Fred? Don't you mean an email, even though you've said B-mail? What could a B-mail possibly be, Fred? In the next cell, the punchline cell, and get ready, because it's a cracker. Fred's outside. He's grinning ear to ear. And I think if you've ever seen Fred Basset grin, it really does warm your heart. He's grinning ear to ear. He's wagging his tail. He's barking as loud as he can. You can tell he's barking because he has noise lines coming out of his head, and they're very sharp and very long. So he really is barking very loud. And you go, what does B-mail mean? And who's he sending a B-mail to? He's out the back, and he's yelling, bark mail.
Courrier.
No, don't let it sink in.
No, but the
Bark mail.
Yeah, but I'm just telling you. Courrier de Cos.
What's a B-mail?
Courrier de Cos.
It's a bark mail. But email, B-mail, bark mail. Fred, you've done it again.
Platinum Basset. Platinum Basset.
Yes! It's good to be back!
It was rubbish in 2 languages.